You scroll through social media and see someone's promotion, their perfect vacation, their new house. Suddenly, a familiar poison spreads through your chest. Not just disappointment, but something darker. Envy. That gnawing sense that their gain is somehow your loss, that their light dims yours. But what if I told you that this feeling has nothing to do with them and everything to do with a false judgment you're making about yourself? The Stoics understood something profound about envy. It's not caused by what others achieve, but by the story we tell ourselves about what their success means for us. Today we'll explore how this ancient wisdom can free you from one of humanity's most destructive emotions. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the Roman Empire, could have envied no one. Yet his meditations reveal his own struggles with comparison and resentment. He writes how much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does. The emperor understood that envy begins the moment we make someone else's life the standard for measuring our own worth. The first Stoic teaching about envy is this: it feeds on false scarcity. When your colleague gets promoted, your mind whispers that there's now less success available for you. When your friend finds love, some part of you believes there's less happiness in the world. But success, love, and fulfillment are not finite resources that get depleted when others claim them. A candle doesn't lose its flame by lighting another candle. Epictetus, who lived as a slave before becoming one of history's greatest teachers, knew this intimately. He had every reason to envy the freedom and comfort of others, yet he taught that true wealth lies in wanting what you have, not having what you want. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, he said, but in having few wants. Another's life is a moment stolen from building your own. The second principle is understanding that envy reveals your deepest insecurities. When you feel that sharp stab of jealousy, ask yourself, what does this person have that I believe I lack? Often it's not their house or job or relationship you truly want. It's the sense of worth, security, or love you think those things represent. But here's the Stoic insight. Those feelings of worth must come from within, or they remain forever fragile and dependent on external circumstances. Seneca faced this challenge when his wealth and influence attracted both admiration and resentment from others. He observed how envy distorts perception, making people see his success as evidence of their failure. It is likely that some troubles will befall us, he wrote, but it is not a present fact. How often has the unexpected happened? How often has the expected never come to pass? Your envious mind creates suffering over imaginary losses and comparative deficits that exist nowhere but in your thoughts. The third teaching concerns the voluntary nature of comparison. Every time you measure your life against someone else's highlight reel, you're choosing to abandon your own path for the anxiety of endless competition. In our connected world of 2026, where global communities share both struggles and triumphs instantaneously, this choice becomes more crucial than ever. The same technology that connects us to inspiring examples of human resilience can also fuel toxic comparison if we let it. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, confine yourself to the present. Your present moment contains everything you need to take the next right step. Someone else's present moment is irrelevant to your journey. When you catch yourself scrolling through others' achievements and feeling diminished, you're literally choosing to live in their reality instead of creating your own. The fourth principle is perhaps the most liberating. Other people's success can become fuel for your own growth instead of poison for your peace. The Stoics practice turning obstacles into opportunities, and envy is just another obstacle to transform. When you see someone excelling in an area where you struggle, let their example show you what's possible rather than what you lack. Epictetus taught his students to say, "I am grateful for this example of human potential." Instead of thinking, "Why them and not me?" ask, "What can I learn from their approach?" This shift transforms envy from a destructive force into a teacher. The person you once resented becomes a guide, showing you unexplored possibilities. The final Stoic wisdom about envy addresses its ultimate cure: focus on what you can control. You cannot control others' talents, opportunities, or outcomes. You cannot control the timing of your own breakthroughs, or the recognition you receive. But you can control your response to others' success, your dedication to your own values, and your willingness to find meaning in your unique circumstances. Seneca spent years in exile, watching others enjoy the Roman life he'd been forced to leave behind. Yet he used this time to develop the philosophical insights that would influence humanity for millennia. He controlled what he could, his thoughts, his writing, his character, and let go of what he couldn't. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end, he realized. Sometimes what looks like others' gain is simply life rearranging itself in ways you cannot yet understand. In practicing these 5 principles, you begin to see envy for what it truly is, not a natural response to others' good fortune, but a learned habit of self-diminishment that you can unlearn. Your peace returns when you stop making other people's lives the measurement of your own worth. Your joy expands when you realize that in a universe of infinite possibilities, someone else's success takes nothing away from your potential for fulfillment. The Stoics understood that the inner citadel of your mind must remain sovereign. No external achievement or loss, whether yours or someone else's, should determine the fundamental peace that comes from knowing who you are and what you stand for. In a world that profits from your insecurity and feeds on your comparisons, this ancient wisdom offers a radical alternative: complete freedom from the prison of envy. As you move forward, remember that every person you've ever envied is fighting battles you cannot see, carrying burdens you do not know, and measuring themselves against people you've never heard of. The game of comparison has no winners because the rules constantly change and the finish line keeps moving. The only victory is refusing to play. Your peace is not contingent on others' failures. Your worth is not diminished by others' success. Your path is not inferior because it's different. When you truly understand this, envy loses its power over you, and you reclaim the sovereign territory of your own mind. If this moved you, comment "The Citadel holds" below. It is our sign that you carry the philosophy with you. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.